At the end of my Wilds Beta Longsword guide, I mentioned a secret tech I found for the longsword. I didn't include it in the guide because I'm just not sure how useful it is. The beta ended before I got the chance to fully test it. At first glance, it seems kind of useless, but the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced it will have a place in Longsword's new moveset. This secret tech is the Spirit Charge Cancel, named after exactly what it does. You can cancel the first stage of Spirit Charge into Foresight Slash or Special Sheath. The timing of your inputs are important, but the cancel is not hard to perform once you know what to look for. If you hold the right trigger for too long, the cancel becomes unavailable. As soon as the sword is lifted above your shoulders, you're stuck with a normal Spirit Charge. While holding the right trigger at this stage of the Spirit Charge, you can press the right face button to perform Foresight Slash, or the bottom face button to perform Special Sheath. If you're unfamiliar with the longsword, this might seem really strong. Foresight Slash and Special Sheath are the most efficient ways to level your gauge, which you can then spend to perform your strongest attacks. The short animation commitment of the Spirit Charge Cancel, giving you access to some of your best moves, seems amazing, unless you're familiar with how the longsword works. You can't just use Spirit Charge whenever you want. You have to be performing another action when you start holding the right trigger, or you'll get a Spirit Blade 1 before performing the Spirit Charge. In the same vein, Foresight Slash and Special Sheath can only be accessed during the recovery animations of certain attacks. In most situations, there's no reason to use the Spirit Charge Cancel, since you can already Foresight Slash or Special Sheath immediately. However, Foresight Slash and Special Sheath have some restrictions. There are specific attacks that you can't use them after, but you can use the Spirit Charge Cancel. For example, you can't Foresight or Special Sheath after a failed EI Spirit Slash, but you can use the Spirit Charge Cancel. You can't Special Sheath after EI Slash, but you can use the Spirit Charge Cancel. It also generates enough gauge to always activate Foresight Slash's invincibility. If you don't have gauge when you Foresight, you don't get the extended invincibility, and you don't get the counter. So, the Spirit Charge Cancel has two unique uses. The first use is to access Foresight or Special Sheath after moves that normally don't allow it. The second use is to have a guaranteed Foresight when your gauge is empty. I could see the Spirit Charge Cancel being used as an alternative to the Thrust, which is currently used as a quick attack to cancel into Foresight or Special Sheath. While the Thrust can deal damage and has a more forgiving input window, the Spirit Charge Cancel has the benefit of guaranteed gauge regeneration without needing to hit the monster. For example, if I didn't have gauge in these two clips, my health is going to 0, but the Spirit Charge Cancel might be able to bail me out. As I said at the start of the video, I haven't fully tested this, so I don't know if the Spirit Charge Cancel has some hidden restrictions as well. For example, one hidden restriction I did find is that you can't use Spirit Charge Cancel after Foresight Slash. This technique is going to be the first thing I check on, as soon as I get access to the game again. Keep in mind, everything I've said can change on full release, so don't count your chickens before they hatch. If you haven't already checked it out, I'll link my full guide for the longsword in the Monster Hunter Wilds beta in the description. I'll be making an updated guide on release, so subscribe if you're interested.